everyone, welcome to Sailing Along. Today's video is special because XLRI has just given calls out for their interviews, and congratulations to everybody who cracked it this year. I've already made a video about my SAT score last year and the comparison with this year, so it's clear that I did not get the call interview, but I am here to help you all with my interview experience that I had last year. So in my last video, one of you suggested me to make a video on my interview experience, so here am I. Okay, so last year we quickly talk about what is my profile and how did it go and what it all. So last year I scored 94.32 percentile in SAT, and that is the reason I got shortlisted for HRM. My quants cutoff was not met, that was the reason I did not get a call for business management, but I did get a call for HRM. And I went for the interview, and in this video I am going to share you about the same. So as you see, I am a pretty above average with my SAT and as well as with my academics. I have scored 89 percentile, 80 percentile and 75 percentile in 10th, 12th and my undergrad. I have done my undergraduation in Bachelor of Arts in English Literature. So this was about my academic profile. Talking about work-ex, last year I had work-ex of 1 year in a school being a teacher to kindergarten students. So that was it. I had not prepared a lot for the interview because last year I was a little blank about what to prepare and how to prepare as well. But I did think about, okay, what are my major life points which I could share about and all of those. A little bit preparation, I would say, definitely not up to the mark. Now coming to the idea that I want to share about and I want to talk to you about what went wrong in my interview which did not let me crack that last year. Before that, let me walk you through the whole process. I went for the interview and I reached at the time which was already told to me. So all of you be prepared for a lot of waiting. So you cannot expect the minute you reach all the processes would start. Minimum from the minute you reach, you will minimum take 2 hours to get for your PI, for your personal interview. So be prepared for a lot of waiting and make the best use of this waiting in connecting with people, in talking to people, get to know their profile, get to know what are they good at, get to know how are they preparing for the exams, ask them about which other calls are they preparing. So it would be an excellent time to connect and converse with people. I know you would be a little hesitant about, okay, how to talk, what to talk, but that is what we are here to learn for, right? So don't take a step back, utilize that time appropriately to know people around you. So that was it. I had to wait a lot, and then it was our document verification, which was an easy, smooth going process. After that, again we had to wait, and then we all were asked to separate ourselves with HRM and BM interviews point of view. And in my interview last year, I had GD and PI. So the first thing that happened was GD. So we were almost 7 people in a batch, and all of us were girls because HRM is a field which is dominated by girls. That was the reason. So all of us were girls, and the topic, I don't exactly remember what was the topic, but last year was the first time, instead of giving a single line, they have elaborated the topic. It was almost 5 to 6 lines. It was a paragraph. So it was not a single line topic, it was a whole paragraph which was given to us in a printed sheet and also paper for our notes. We were given time of 2 to 3 minutes to prepare our notes, and the topic was regarding women employment. I am not able to recall the exact point of view, but the general idea was regarding women empowerment, and all of us being women in the batch, it really helped us to bring different point of views and perspectives, because all of us were from very diverse backgrounds and very diverse backgrounds geographically, to be precise. So it went well, things were good. Again there was waiting time after it, and then in my batch for the PI I was the third one to go to. So I had some people after me as well as before me, which helped me to calm down myself and have that enough time. Now talking about the interview, so it was exactly a year ago, so I don't recall the exact flow of it or how did it start, but I know the basic gist, which is what I'm going to share with you today. So we started with introducing ourselves, and I had a resume of mine printed, so I kept it on the table to share it with them. They did not look into it, they did not glance at it at all. Now, three major things that did not work in my favor is what I'm going to talk to you about. So I talked about that in my undergrad studied English and my second subject was psychology. So I was emphasizing a lot on psychology, that I like to talk to people, think of what are they thinking, empathetic point of view, put myself in their shoes and think about it. So I was trying to connect a psychological point of view into HR, because that was an HR oriented interview for HRM program. So they gave me a case in which that they asked me that if you are a HR of a big company which is into manufacturing, and there are a lot of low level workers who are working there, and if they come to you with a problem saying that okay, my boss abuses me, or he does not give me enough credits, or does not speak well with me, and bullies me, and all of it, which is a very common problem in a low level of workforce. How would you deal with it? So there was also an additional line which said, now I don't want to work with you because of this thing happened. So I said I'll try to talk to the boss, I'll try whoever the manager is, that whom the guy is reporting to and whom the guy is talking about. I said I'll talk to him and I'll talk to them and I'll make them sit together and deal with it and whatever. But they constantly cross questioned me, asking that okay, but they don't listen, like they are like that, okay, bosses are like that, they use the abusive language to motivate them, and that is how they work, and it's how things work, and it will not change in the way you communicate. So my only point of action was that I will make them sit together and communicate, which was not enough. I just recalled there were other lines in the premise as well, which said that okay, he or she, the worker, was not happy with the pay that they are getting. The worker was like, I'm getting less pay, I am getting bullied, I am not being talked to nicely, what's the point of me working here, better I leave the job. So I was not able to justify all of the concerned areas of the employee, and that became a little deal breaker from my end and from their end too. Next mistake which I think I did was I did not go through their website properly. Like they asked me that you are coming here to study HR, which are the subjects are you expecting? Now the subjects are directly listed there. It was such an easy question, but just because I did not go through the website, or I did not go through the whole idea of which subjects exactly do we study in HRM, I gave very generic answers where I did not reframe myself from giving an answer. I said that I don't know the exact subjects, but I am wanting to learn these concepts. But it was too generic, and which clearly shown that I was not prepared enough. So that was my second mistake that I did. And the last one was they did not ask me a single question from my work experience, maybe because it was irrelevant to the field that I was wanting to go to, because teaching and MBA is a little different zones altogether. But they did ask me a question from my undergraduation, and they asked me, okay, which is the subject you like, and tell me something about that. So that is something that went a little well, but I mentioned about a story and a book that I liked when I was doing my bachelor's in English literature, and they asked me to elaborate it. Now I did not had that bandwidth to elaborate that story in 5 minutes. Like it took me too long, because the story had too many characters, too many plots, too many point of views and conclusions, and too many things. So I was trying to catch it all up and frame it up, but it was becoming a khichdi like a structure which did not make enough sense to the another person who is listening to it for the first time. So again, that was the third point that shows my lack of preparation, because I should have been anticipating this question and be prepared about it. So last year I was pretty blank about what I should prepare, how I should prepare. I had a mindset like, okay, they're gonna ask me about my life. I have lived my life. What do I need to prepare about it? But this year when I am preparing, I know it is so much to prepare about. So don't take your GDs lightly, don't take your PIs lightly, prepare for it and be clear about what you are saying. So last but not the least, I would surely recommend you to go through their website completely, dig it all off, all the section, all the columns. What you never know which point of view is going to help you in which question, and especially for such a direct question, which was for me, it would have been so much easier if I would have just gone through their website. So eventually I had a little feeling that I did not do up to the mark of what I should have, because I did not prepare enough. So I was mentally prepared for not cracking it, and eventually that is what happened. But overall I felt that it was not drilling. It was something that, of course, their expectations are high, of course, and it should be high. It is XLRI, right? So it was just they are trying to meet the expectations. I would not say that it was grilling at all. So that was all about my XLRI HRM interview experience that happened last year. This year, those who are gonna appear for the interviews, all the very best. Hope the mistakes that I have made is not something that you make and eventually you crack it. If this video was any helpful to you, please drop down comments regarding the same and suggestions of what next would you like to know about. And lastly, love the sailing along. Thank you so much.